So this is the first time they've worn their.
Can you read it?
So we'll see what people's reaction is. No one's noticed yet. They're doing a little cute one. Cross-eyed pictures. Oh, so I was hoping for a reaction. I guess no one's noticing, but we'll see the picture. That's where we're going today. This is Braden. And some of us are gathering here. We still got like over an hour till our tour goes. I think there's one tour before ours. I don't think it's even 1:15 yet. And we go 1:45. Right there's the direction of the gift shop. So we're just gathering here because this is like a giant natural air conditioner. And out there it's super warm. So we're just chilling here. Braden's working on his bat call. And yeah. I'll maybe show you more.Maybe we'll try to take some inside the cave videos like I did a few days ago. I can't even hear them from here, but Braden just went up and sat down with Beth. Well, came down where it's even cooler, but Beth doesn't want to come down here because she says she'll just have to go back up, and she didn't even want to come on the tour, so she's gonna wait up there. So for now, Braden and her are gonna hang out while we're waiting on our tour, I guess. But I just thought it was cute. Braden's a cool guy. Down there's a river with a gap into the other room. But now they blasted this high up.
Now his flashlight wasn't half the power of mine. He only had an old flashlight and an old Coleman lantern. And the first thing his light picked up was the backside of this rock formation. He called it Goliath. This is world record number 2. Goliath is the largest stalagmite column in a cave you take a tour in. He's 45 feet tall, 40 foot thick in the center, 243 feet around the bottom of it. And made up of a lot of lines of stalactites like that one right there. And as I'm talking to y'all, that is an active line dripping down the water with the calcite mineral and making Goliath grow on that side. Now the geologists, people that study rock, they say a lot of this part of the cave went dormant 50,000 years ago. Going dormant means the water supply. Now, a stalactite and a stalagmite, this is how I keep them apart, okay? These stalactites, that's old, and that thing's 60 years old, man. Time in the cave. All right? Neat.
Looks like a candlestick on a mantle. Clear it up.
Okay, is that everybody up on the hill? All right, now the geologists, they call this a frozen waterfall. They say frozen because it's made out of rock and froze in time. Now, when the water that's flowing over this is not the original creature stream that created it. The state of Alabama put a pump in to pump water over this thing to give y'all an idea what it sounded like and looked like 50,000 years ago when it went dormant, okay? When Mr. Gurley discovered it, it was dry. So the state put a pump in and they pumped water over it out of the river. Now the original creature stream used to flow out that back wall right up in there. And as it trickled down for thousands of years, it pulled the minerals out of the limestone rock and it deposited the minerals back on the limestone boulders like that right there. So underneath all this smooth stuff is just limestone boulders. It's called smooth flowstone from a constant water flow. It's rough flowstone. It looks like the stuff back there by your bridge, okay? But this is what you call a smooth flowstone waterfall, and it gets its smoothness from a constant water flow. And this thing is the largest one in the cave you take a tour in. It's 85 feet long, or 20 feet tall. So is that water pulling minerals out of that rock and deposit minerals back onto the waterfall. So maybe in about 10 years, then geologists can come in here and do. And back there at the bridge, it comes 2 inches from touching the bottoms of the beams on the bridge. So when it floods out down here, we're able to get out safely without hurting yourself, okay? So if you have any kind of problem, we'll go play us a couple rounds, okay? Oh, Tecumseh right there, he's looking to make peace with somebody, right? So he takes that peace pipe right there and he picks up his tobacco pouch, and he trots on down the trail, and he's gonna smolder with the caveman, which is right in there. See the caveman? Can you see that caveman? Okay, now, that caveman has got a dog, and I call him Rocky. If you look about 10 feet down from the caveman, right there's Rocky's head. Okay? Now, I asked that little boy, why did I call him Rocky? Anybody? Drips down, it's sort of a brown color. It might have a little bit of iron ore in it, right? So you look down in the floor, it makes brown creations in the floor. Now this one right here has got mostly white in it, so it's got more of a calcite mineral in that part of the rock right there. You look down at the boulder, it's been dripping down for thousands of years. It's just full of calcite. So there you go. It just depends on how much calcite and how much of that other mineral is in that certain spot. He really always tried to get his wife to come down to the cave. He owned the cave probably for about 8 or 9 years before she really come down in the cave. And she might have come to probably to the river, and that was about it. So Mr. Gurley, he always bugged his wife, and he said, you need to come down in the cave with me so you can see the beauty I have discovered in the cave. But Mrs. Gurley wasn't a caver. She told her husband, Jay, she said, all a cave is to me is a deep, dark, wet, damp hole in the ground, and I don't want no part of it. Well, Mr. Gurley, this story I heard, 1 year on their wedding anniversary, he just kept aggravating his wife and bugging her to go caving with him. And he said, if you go caving with me on our wedding anniversary, he said, that'll be the best present you could ever give me. So Mrs. Gurley, she decided, well, if I don't go with him, he's just going to keep on aggravating me. So she said, all right, Jay, I'll go with you. So he put the caving gear on, and they got to the frozen waterfall. Now, it took them about 4 hours to get from the frozen waterfall to here because of the fact Boulder Boulevard was not worked out yet. Mr. Gurley had to make sure his wife was safe. He had to stick with her and show her where to step and stuff like that so she wouldn't fall and bust her head open or break her leg or something like that. So it took them about 4 hours to get here. And Mr. Gurley had a rough lighting system set up, okay? A couple house light bulbs, a few wires running in here. And now when you're married and it's your anniversary, you tell your spouse you love them, and you give them a little sugar, and then you exchange gifts, right? So Mr. Gurley, he told his wife, thank you, hon, for coming caving with me. That's the best present you could ever give me in our lifetime. He told her he loved her, probably give her a kiss, and he told her happy anniversary, and that's what he gave her right there. Mrs. Gurley told Jay, them columns are so beautiful, they belonged in a great cathedral, so that's how we got our name, Cathedral Caverns, okay? From them beautiful columns right there, reminded her of a cathedral. Now, every beautiful church or cathedral's got to have a church bell, right? You look over here to the right, there's the church bell right there. Okay? Now, Mrs. Gurley looked over to the left, and she said that reminded her of a pipe organ. So there you go, Cathedral Caverns. Now, every cathedral has got to have a gargoyle, right? The old cathedral especially. Now, my boss, Lamar, he says I'm hallucinating this one, okay? I showed all the other tour guides, but I just can't convince my boss I see a gargoyle in the cathedral room. Now, look, right here. Sort of favors an old ugly face, don't it? Old muddy rock. When I take my flashlight off that spot right there, let your eyes focus, and you tell me if that ain't a gargoyle. See?
Yeah.
Now I can tell my boss I got about 25 people hallucinating that gargoyle with me. That's the oldest gargoyle in the world, been protecting the cathedral room for thousands of years, 100,000 years or better. Now, this is for the little ones. Come on back here and I'm going to show you something. I got 3 animals back here, okay? I got 3 animals. Y'all got to come up and follow me. Okay. Turn this rock up, taking a chance of breaking this rock, and taking a chance of falling and getting hurt himself. Now, Mr. Gurley didn't blast off. Okay, and then you go over here, I can find there's your one right there. And you just scan all over the place. Especially in the wintertime, we got a lot of dry air, there's no humidity, there's no moisture on the ceiling. So you can really see hundreds of fish bones all over the place. There you go.
So we're on our way home from the cave, and the storm is pretty epic. You can't see the next person in front of us, but there's a truck. Oh, there you can barely see. Oh, now you can't because they just cut in front of us. We put our flashes on because we're smart and we don't want to get rear-ended. But yeah, visibility. We just drove and it was like snapped immediately. We're in the storm, and so we'll see how far it lasts. If I see anything else cool, I'll record it.
Well, see, it's all nice and quiet for like a second. And the children are falling on the ground. This one's screaming and running. This is fun. Cheese! I'll tell you what happened. He looked at me to say cheese and hit it. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I did. I feel bad. Come on, Brett. Faster. I have no idea what's going on there. I should go check that out.
This is gonna smack the crap out of that.
Did he just say this is gonna smack the crap out of that?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Give it that Kimbrel. Let Kimbrel crack.
Oh my gosh.
Let Kimbrel crack.
That was funny. Well, see, look, he
Let Kimbrel do it.
Yay!
Your turn, Kimbrel. Sure.
I know how to get it. What I'm doing, I'm making a bridge. I'm making a bridge to drive across.
I think he was so scared that what's going to happen next.
That's what we hope.
It's like losing interest. The simplest things can only take a kid for so long. What'd you do? I wonder if he's gonna get hurt again if he sees it on the recording.